What's going on? We back. Boxing Clinic and more. Media reaction to Callum Smith taking on George Groves. Callum Smith knocked out George Groves in the 7th round with a counter left hook. It was a good fight. Different atmosphere in Saudi Arabia. Had a lot of those Saudi Arabian people. Sorry, I don't know what to call them in the crowd. They definitely was digging, the fight. There was a lot of action. Boxing scene had it split like first 3 rounds to Smith, last 3 rounds to Groves. What I did notice was it looked like Smith was trying to set up that right hand, and Groves was always jabbing. He was a veteran, but Callum Smith, when he hit George Groves, George Groves was on rummy noodle legs, all right? It seemed like Callum Smith power was a difference maker, but, Groves tried to play possum and trying to act like Smith power really wasn't hurting him. But I felt like Smith knew his power was hurting Groves. At one point he was looking for that one big shot, that big right hand. And coming over the top of Groves' jab, he was trying to time George's jab. And Groves, shot a straight right hand out there. And he brought it back. But when he brought it back, he brought it low. And Callum Smith landed a big left hook, and he went to town on him. He started flurrying. He kept his distance. He picked his shots, and Groves was on the canvas on all 4, and he shook his head to the referee. No, I don't know if he talked to his cornerman or whoever, but I think he was telling the referee he was done. And the referee proceeded to count, and Groves get knocked out again. I believe he got knocked out by Frotch. He got beat by Badu Jack. Is it done for him? I would never count Groves out, but maybe he can move up or something. But Callum Smith is the guy that I picked to win the World Boxing Super Series Super Middleweight Tournament. I picked him to win it. He made me look good. It was kind of a broken tournament, but because of Yerman Berman injury and some of the other champions not being in there. But Callum Smith is definitely a good fighter. He proved that tonight. He kept his distance. He used his jab. I thought at some point he was underutilizing his jab. He was trying to come over the top of Groves' jab, and it was an even fight. I thought it was an even fight by that time. But George Groves is a front runner. Groves, he good in the first half of the fight. When you're trending towards the second half of the fight, he just always has some type of stamina issue or focus issue or whatever it may be. And I knew when it was split, I figured that, Callum Smith would take over towards the end of the rounds. And I thought Groves would, be able to do enough early on to probably maybe steal a decision, just thinking about it. But Callum Smith is just a different animal. Eddie Hearn is clapping behind him, very, very happy. But, Groves, I think, I think lazy. I think not lazy, but I think he was tired. All right? I really do think he was tired. He shot that right hand out there. He brought it back. But he dropped it low, and Callum Smith, as soon as he dropped that right hand low, he dropped that left hook on him, and that was a determining factor. I thought it would be the right hook, that right hand that would hurt him, but it was the left hook. And Groves got to go back to the drawing board once again. Callum Smith is a strong fighter. It seemed like they gave him the ring belt, and they gave him, I guess, the WBC diamond belt or whatever it was. He was already WBC diamond or silver champion, whatever it was, because he was supposed to fight Anthony Durrell, I think for the vacant title, but he pulled out. Then Durrell was supposed to fight David Benavidez. He got injured. David Benavidez ended up fighting Ronald Durrell Garville twice. So I don't know if this WBC diamond belt gives him an immediate shot at David Benavidez, but that's a good fight, okay? It's a really good fight. Callum Smith can punch. He was willing to come out to L.A. and fight Anthony Durrell, but Durrell didn't want to enter the tournament, all right? So that fell apart. Then he tried to bring Callum Smith to Flint, Michigan. Callum Smith wasn't going to Flint, and that fight fell apart. One of Muhammad Ali's daughters presented the cup to Callum Smith. So, I wasn't a big fan of the super middleweight tournament because I didn't think it should have more people in there. Ramirez and maybe Jesse Hart and David Benavidez, but at the time he wasn't the champion. But congratulations to Callum Smith. I think he can compete and beat any super middleweight in the world. Don't forget he like 6'3" as well. This was his step-up fight versus George Groves. A lot of people thought George Groves was the #1 super middleweight, even though he had those losses, but he the most experienced, okay? But, I like Callum Smith over Gilberto Ramirez at this point right now, because Ramirez's skill level is deteriorating because his competition level ain't nothing, all right? I think he beat the hell out of Jesse Hart. Uzataki and Callum Smith, that's a really good fight. I think that's a pick'em fight in my opinion. David Benavidez, Callum Smith, I think that's a really good fight. I think you can make that a pick'em fight. But I think they both still on the same experience level. I think Groves is a good win, but I probably favor David Benavidez to beat Callum Smith, all right, in my opinion. But Callum Smith can beat anybody. He knocked Groves. Basically, he hurt Groves with the left hook from hell and then finished him off. Didn't overcommit. Took his time, picked his shots, knew if he was patient during the flurry, he would get Groves up out of there. And that's what he did, and he made me look good. So shout out to Callum Smith for making me look good in my prediction, saying that he will win this tournament. And I roll with him, and I pretty much appreciate him for making me look good. Y'all go back and check the video out, man. You know what? I'll link it in the description. I'll put it up. But shout out to the whole LDBC. Shout out to Callum Smith doing big things. A new player, new champion, world champion in the super middleweight division, or world title holder, as I call them, until they fight and get one champion. But yeah, square business, man. It was a good look out here. Groves got taken out again. I think his fitness and his defensive lapses ultimately did him in. So, he did say no on the canvas. So when he shook his head no, I knew he wasn't getting back up. But it's the Boxing Clinic and more. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and check us out Monday through Friday. Boxing 101, early morning grind, our boxing talk show around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to LDBC.